I'm going to call this meeting to order. We have all council members present. Also, we have Mayor Brett Hales, Brooke Smith, our recorder, and GL Critchfield, our city attorney, as well as Jennifer Kennedy, our executive director. We're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance, and I've asked Russ Calcula to do that. He's so excited about it, too. Russ, this is going to be like SNL. If you do it 5 times, we give you a little jacket that you can wear. So, yeah, right, exactly. All right. Our first matter of business is approval of minutes for the April 15th, 2025 meeting. Do we have any adjustments or corrections or changes? And then I will entertain a motion.
I move that we approve the council meeting minutes from April 15th, 2025.
I second it.
I have a motion from Councilmember Goodman and a second from Councilmember Cotter. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Okay. The vote is unanimous. We are now open up to citizen comments. This is for do we have any? Yep. So yeah, just open citizen comments. So feel free to come to the microphone. The comments for 3 minutes. Step to the microphone, state your city, your name and city of residence, and then fill out the form that Patty has.
Is it on? Is your microphone on? Green?
It is now. There we go. Okay, we'll start all over. Good evening, Council. My name is Chanel, and I am the Senior Officer and founder of Stand Against Fear and Exploitation. Or we call ourselves SAFE, okay? We are a 501c4 nonprofit organization here in Utah. We are here to protect communities across Utah against organizations that use their status and their faith to shield people from accountability. I'm here tonight because I'm going city to city, and I'm not going to stop until real change happens. Recently, Wanda Barzee, a convicted sex offender who helped kidnap 14-year-old Elizabeth Smart, was found entering 2 public parks, violating her offender registry conditions. In Utah, this is treated as a Class A misdemeanor. That means a fine up to $2,500 and up to 364 days in jail. No mandatory sentence and no felony. Just one moment. Okay, we have no children in here. And the most alarming part, when confronted, she told the police, "The Lord commanded me to." That is the same excuse she gave over 20 years ago when she raped, sexually assaulted for 9 months Elizabeth Smart, when she abducted that 14-year-old little girl. This is not just a violation, it's a direct threat to all of our children in our communities. You should be outraged, every single one of you. Everybody in the state should be outraged. If you're a parent, a grandparent, an aunt, uncle, or even a human being. The data backs it up. According to the Utah Commission on Criminal Juvenile Justice and Adult Justice, high-risk sex offenders reoffend at the rate of 22% within 5 years. Former U.S. Attorney John Hubbard stated in his expert witness that re-victimization for child offenders is 60 to 80% or even higher. This isn't a matter of if they reoffend, it's when. We cannot allow our laws to remain this lenient. I urge the council to stand up and support with me, SAFE, and advocate for a statewide reform and make it clear our children are not our commodities, they are our compromise. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I'm going to close the citizen comment portion of the meeting, and we're going to move on to a special recognition, and we're going to consider a joint proclamation of the mayor and the municipal council of Murray City for Emergency Medical Services Week. Assistant Chief Travis Botcher and Medical Director Adam Ball is presenting. Or apparently just Travis.
I'll have Dr. Balls go first.
Chief Botcher is supposed to go first. I'm not sure why I'm going first, but City Council, we appreciate the opportunity to be here. We appreciate the opportunity to designate in EMS Week to honor our EMS and our first responders. As Medical Director of Murray Fire, I've held this position for the last 8 years. It has been an honor to work alongside such fine, upstanding men and women who serve the community and the surrounding communities of Murray with heart and passion and dedication to their jobs. This theme for this year's EMS Week is, as EMS professionals, we care, with an emphasis and a period for everyone. I want to read just a little bit of the excerpt of this theme because I think it accurately describes what Murray Fire EMS personnel do every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Our dedication and life-saving skills are put to the test every day. We're called to care in big cities and in small towns, in private homes, businesses, schools, and on our nation's roadways. Whether it's saving a young victim of a motor vehicle crash, helping an elderly patient who's forgotten to take her medication, stabilizing a construction worker experienced chest pain on the job site, or treating an overdose on a city street, we're trained and ready to deliver a range of medical interventions and support because we care for everyone. Our roles and responsibilities are changing and we're rising to the challenge. City Council, I can attest to you that the men and women of Murray Fire are an incredible group of individuals. We appreciate the city's support of the agency. We appreciate the support and the honor that each year we get to dedicate this EMS Week to honor these fine men and women. It's a privilege to lead and help lead them to provide what I think is the most exceptional care being provided by our EMS agency here in the city of Murray, and I have a strong opinion about that, and I believe every day they rise to the challenge, and I review their care on a regular basis, and I can attest that if you or your loved one is injured or sick or suffers an unfortunate accident, that the Murray Fire personnel will respond and will do an incredible job at saving their life, treating their pain, and most importantly, offering compassion and comfort in their hour of need. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Balls. Mayor and City Council members, I wanted to also take a moment to thank you for recognizing EMS Week. It truly means a great deal to our paramedics and EMTs to have your support and acknowledgement. The work that they provide, the work that our providers do can be demanding, both physically and emotionally, but they continue to rise to the occasion with professionalism, compassion, and dedication. We are proud to serve the residents and our visitors of our city, and fortunate to have a community that values and supports its first responders. Thank you again for taking the time to recognize the dedication and service of our EMS professionals. The second thing that I want to talk about is our EMS Week Pancake Breakfast. That kicks off on Saturday this week, May 17th, from 8 to 10 a.m. over at Station 81. Hope that everybody from the public and the council and the mayor can make it over to that. So it's a great event, and look forward to it every year. and then the EMS Week proclamation to designate the week of May 18th, 2025 as Emergency Medical Services Week. Whereas emergency medical services is a vital public service, and whereas the members of the EMS team are ready to provide life-saving care to those in need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And whereas access to quality emergency care dramatically improves the survival and recovery rate of those who experience sudden illness and injury. And whereas the emergency medical services system consists of emergency physicians, emergency nurses, emergency medical technicians, paramedics, firefighters, educators, administrators, and others. And whereas the members of the emergency medical services team, whether career or volunteer, engage in thousands of hours of specialized training and continuing education to enhance their life-saving skills. And whereas it is appropriate to recognize the value and the accomplishments of the emergency medical services providers by designating Emergency Medical Services Week. Now, therefore, Mayor Brett Hales, in recognition of this event, hereby proclaims the week of May 18th to the 24th, 2025 as Emergency Medical Services Week. I encourage the community to observe the week with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities.
Mayor Hales, you want to?
I'll just say thanks, Adam. We appreciate all you've done for us. You're awesome, and it's great being a partner with you and having you be a partner with us. So thank you. And then Travis, thanks for reading all my whereases. I got tired of doing those whereases, so I really appreciate you doing those whereases. So
Thanks for letting me do it.
you did it great, and he cut it back, Jennifer. Jennifer always says, you can cut that back. So
Yeah. Tried my best.
Travis took that advice and shortened it up a little. So thank you for doing that, Travis.
Yes, of course.
Any comments from the council?
Would you like a motion? Do you need any help at the pancake breakfast or anything like that? Or
We have a lot of people helping out, but
Okay.
we hope that you'll bring your families and an appetite
Yep.
and eat some pancakes. You're always welcome to help cook and do anything that you want to, but hopefully you just
Okay.
come and enjoy.
Okay, thank you.
I will entertain a motion then.
All right. I will make a motion to adopt the joint proclamation of the mayor and municipal council of Murray City for Emergency Medical Services Week.
I will second.
I have a motion from Councilmember Turner and a second from Councilmember Pickett. Brooke, will you call the vote?
Mr. Pickett?
Aye.
Ms. Cotter?
Aye.
Mr. Goodman?
Aye.
Ms. Turner?
Aye.
Mr. Hawk?
Aye. And the proclamation passes unanimously. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you so much.
Where is 81? Is it the new one?
Sorry, it's at 4848 South Box Elder Street, just right here,
across the street.
west
Oh, just,
Yep. of City Hall.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you. We'll move on to our first business item, which is to consider a resolution of the Murray City Municipal Council giving notice of intent to adjust specified portions of its wastewater service boundaries, which it has in common with the Mid-Valley Improvement District. Ben Ford presenting.
Good evening, council. Appreciate the opportunity to come before you tonight. So just a quick recap of what we talked about in Committee of the Whole. This resolution you have before you tonight is to adjust just the service boundaries with Mid-Valley Improvement District. Does not change our city boundaries at all. This really only affects 2 parcels within Murray City to update Mid-Valley's records. Outside of that, does the council have any questions that I did not cover in Committee of the Whole that you would like answered?
Great. Thanks, Ben. And
Okay.
if there are no comments, then I'll entertain a motion. No.
Yes, Jim.
Go for
So-
it, Gio.
Did we count the days right?
We did, yes.
60, within 60 days will be July 15th.
Yes.
Okay.
Has to be at least 60 days.
Oh, I thought it was within 60 days.
No, it has
says-
to be at least 60 days, at least. Yes.
Any other questions for one? Okay, then I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we consider adopting a resolution of the Murray City Council adjusting the boundaries portion of the wastewater, which we have in common with Mid Valley Improvement District.
I second it.
I've got a motion from Councilmember Pickett and a second from Councilmember Cotter. Brooke, will you call the vote?
Mr. Pickett?
Aye.
Ms. Cotter?
Aye.
Mr. Goodman?
Aye.
Ms. Turner?
Aye.
Mr. Hawk?
Aye. All right, the resolution passes 5-0. We'll move on to our second business item, which is to consider a resolution adopting the City Council's tentative budget as amended for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2025 and ending June 30th, 2026, and scheduling a hearing to receive public comment before the final budget is adopted. Brenda Moore presenting.
Hi, Council. Thanks for having me here. This is the next step in the budget process of the many steps that we get to go through. Tentative budget highlights, just as a quick reminder, the general fund budget is balanced with no use of reserves. It does use $4.7 million of 0.2 tax. That is less than last year, so that's a good thing. The 5% property tax revenue increase. That's how I'm differentiating between a tax. The tax rate will increase, but it will not be 5%. I'm still waiting for growth. It comes in on June 8th. So the maximum tax increase of $23 on a $520,000 house, that would be the maximum. That's if we had zero growth. Murray's never had zero growth. We've always had at least 1%. So hopefully we stick with that. Employees will receive a 2.5% COLA. The STEP program is funded. Budget includes health insurance increase of a net 0.25%. People on the regular plan went up 4.5 or something. People on the HSA went down 1.9%. And because of the makeup of how many people are on each plan, it ended up being an increase of 0.25% overall. And the dental increase was 1.3%, and the city is still doing the 85-15 split. 3 new full-time employees, the police lieutenant in the general fund, 1 wastewater tech, and an arborist in the power fund. 85 position pay ranges were increased to be within 5% of the average market, affecting 162 employees. There we go. Fund summary, I won't go over this because I'll hit them all later, but you can see the general fund is balanced. The capital and projects fund is using $13 million of reserves. That is to be expected. They always use their reserves. That's what they're there for. And then I'll talk about the others. When you're voting tonight, the Municipal Building Authority and the RDA fund, even though they're contained within the budget document that I create and they're on their sheet, you're not voting on them tonight. You're voting on just all of the others. Those will be voted on in their separate meetings because they're separate entities. Special revenue, internal service funds, library is increasing its reserves. Their capital funds are allocated to HVAC replacement as they need them. It's getting closer to having them all done. The central garage fund is using $150,000 of reserves. Their goal is to be right around $100,000, and they're over that right now. Retained risk, same thing, using $675,000 of reserves. We're lowering their reserves down because the actual cost of insurance is increasing, but the budget for insurance decreased because we over budgeted last year. But water fund, they're using $1 million of reserves, and considering they have $3.5 million of capital projects, that's pretty good. They're funding $2 million on their own. They have 3.15 million in pipe replacements, and 55,000 for an electrician work van, and then a bunch of other littler things. Wastewater fund, they're using 3 million of reserves. They have saved that 3 million over the last 3 years. They knew they were going to do this big project, so they have been saving towards it. Their charges for services were increased 9% for the fourth of their fifth-year rate adjustments. Stormwater's using 1 million of reserves. Last year, they increased their reserves 1 million, so they're kind of staying even. Charges for services revenue increased 1% to align with what they're actually collecting. There was no rate increase planned yet. And then capital projects, the big one is 1.8 million for some work over on 9th East and Wood Oak area. Enterprise funds, the solid waste funds, using 89,000 of reserves. Their reserves are at 74%, so we need to reduce those before we contemplate doing a rate increase. We're also still watching what's going to happen with the new transfer station. Murray Parkway Fund is increasing reserves 28,000. They are receiving 196,000 transfer from the CIP fund for equipment. They're getting really close to being able to fund their own equipment. Their golf carts will be paid off this year, and we have probably 5 or 6 more years of the irrigation loan that they need to pay, and then they'll be all on their own. They'll be able to fund all of their own, they'll be self-sufficient. The Power Fund is using 4.6 million of reserves, all which will be from bond proceeds. Raised the revenue 6% due to their third of 3 rate increases. The operating revenue is 2.6 million more than operating expenses. That's a lot because of the rate increases, but because they have also been cutting their budgets back year after year. 7.3 million of capital projects have been budgeted in that budget. General fund, this is the one that everybody really cares about. No use of reserves. We should finish the year about 26%. We already talked about the property tax increase, so the tax revenue increase will be 5%. The actual rate increase will be calculated after we know what the revenue growth is. Property tax increase is helping contribute to 1 police lieutenant, and I'm going to call the rest of it the running of the Murray Theater, because that is costing us more this year than it did last year, or since it's never been operating. Sales tax revenue, I budgeted at fiscal year '24, actual, less 1%. Still waiting for that recession. They still say it might happen. Everybody says we should have one. Hopefully we won't. Personnel costs increased 4%, or 1.5 million. Operation costs decreased 4%. And yeah, it's almost $1 million to run the Murray Theater. Just where it all comes from, you've all seen this graph before. Most of it comes from taxes, sales tax, property tax. Where we spend it, the majority, police, fire, parks and rec. Public Works is there at 10%. That's just Class C and the people. There is $3.5 million over in CIP. So if you added that in, they would be up there around the other percentages doing our roads. CIP fund, funding $18 million of projects. Murray Theater, I had to add this one. We're rolling forward $750,000, supposed to be done in June. Probably won't be done till July, maybe a little bit into August. So I had to give them some money to work with. Fire equipment, $3.2 million. They had already saved 1.7 of that. Police equipment, $750,000. Streets projects, $3.4 million. Going to go into the street sidewalks and various other things. We're still saving for the outdoor pool, $2 million. Public Works facility, we're giving them $4 million to cover some additional items from the original plan. Solar lighting on the Jordan River Parkway, it's a test section, 54 south to the Nature Center. We're going to install a pump and pump house in the Willow Pond Blair Well for $100,000. Hopefully the lawns will stay greener over there and they'll have more water pressure. and maintenance on existing buildings of $2.3 million, which includes $1 million of savings from previous years. So that's what's in the CIP. Meeting dates today, you approved the tentative budget, and then you set a date for the public hearing, which will be June 3rd. And then we will also have a truth and taxation meeting. I have it here as August 5th. That's what I asked the county for, but we won't know until the beginning of June exactly when that date will be. Hopefully it'll be the 5th or the 13th and not some other day. And then we have the MBA meeting on June 3rd, council meeting. We have a few public hearings. June 17th, the MBA will, their final, the RDA meeting will do their budget. And then August 5th, we hope, the city council meeting, the truth and taxation, the tax levy. So that's where we're at. So tonight is the consideration of the tentative budget and setting of the public hearing. Any questions?
Can I ask you about the RDA budget?
Sure, you can ask. It's not contained in here, but yes.
Yeah, we're not going to vote on it, but if we wanted to allocate $200,000 for art in the MCC district, where would that come from?
Probably the sale of the City Hall building, if you're going to do it in this area, because it'd have to come from CBD, because you got to keep it within the district that it gets created, at least for that. Low-income housing, we can do it anywhere.
Yeah, it has to be within that district.
Within the district. Might be one block over, maybe, but that's hard to get past GL, so. But it would be probably from the sale of City Hall. That my first question would be where, and maybe what is art that you're talking about, and we can hash all of that out, but that's where it would come from.
Yeah. Could we add that to when we approve the budget in June?
Yeah, we can add it. We'll talk about it in the RDA planning meeting, and then if we get enough council members who tell me to add it, and it's got to be at least 2.
I believe there's enough council members.
Well, or we can add it in the meeting, as a addendum or whatever, however you want to do it, but.
Great, thank you.
Any other questions?
Not so much a question. When I vote no here, it's not because of you didn't do an awesome job. It's a lot of work, I get that. But I'm still having a hard time with the tax increase because we don't know what the revenue is going to be. So until then, I'm just going to be a no. So not personal, I just want to make sure you knew that.
Any other questions from the council? Okay, then I'll entertain a motion.
I would like to move to make a motion on the resolution adopting the City Council's tentative budget as amended for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2025, ending June 30th, 2026, and scheduling a hearing to receive public comment before the final budget is adopted.
I've got a motion from Councilmember Cotter. Do I have a second on the motion?
I'll second.
Okay, motion from Councilmember Cotter, second by Councilmember Turner. Brooke, will you call the vote?
Mr. Pickett?
Aye.
Ms. Cotter?
Aye.
Mr. Goodman?
Nay.
Ms. Turner?
Aye.
Mr. Hawk?
Aye. All right, it passes 4-1, and we have a tentative budget. We'll now move on to the mayor's report. Mayor Hales.
Thanks, Adam. Just an FYI, our power department will be heading out Saturday to help with the Light Up Navajo, a week-long service project to install power lines in remote areas of the Navajo Nation, which most of you have been involved over the years that we've done this. It's kind of cool because you look at this and you say, people in Arizona don't have electricity, and it's amazing how they don't, and several areas don't. So it's kind of cool that our power department goes down and helps. The following week, so they'll be leaving, what do we say, on Saturday. Greg and I and Erica will be heading down there on Tuesday for 3 days. And if you want to stay busier than what you are, then hire an Erica, because I'm a busy guy, and she doesn't seem to care about that. She just kind of, now I'm having fun, Erica, you know that. But anyway, she just gets me going. We've got, I can't even remember his name now, who's going down with us. KSL's going down with us to do a story on it. So, of course, she made that happen. So anyway, we're excited, and like I said, we have so much going on, and it's been wonderful to be able to participate in these things. Also, preparations are on the way for the Murray Park outdoor pool to open on Memorial Day weekend. Seasonal maintenance and readiness tasks are on track. Kim knocked on wood after he said this, but the pool is full and staying full. So don't breathe too hard. But anyway, we're grateful that that is the case, so that sometimes isn't. So right now, they're saying it looks good. So, and then you know about the pancake, we talked about that with the fire department, 8 to 10, you said, correct? Station 81, which is just a block west of us here. So that is my report. What's that? Oh, I'll tell you about the Army, yes. So Kim kind of messed that up. He didn't like the floor. And when we went in, Kim's a little bit of a perfectionist. And I guess because now they're going to do it free, he said, that's not acceptable, this floor. And I'm thinking, I was going to use it on Saturday, but anyway. So we're there. Did they start today, redoing the floor? So the floor, it just had it was glossy looking, and just the lines weren't straight, and that wasn't good for Kim. So honestly, I'm grateful that you took that on, because they're doing it for no cost, which is correct. So they're putting in a new coating on the floor, will be done in a couple days. And then the iron fence that's halfway, if you've seen it, it's halfway around it, will continue on. I think that starts tomorrow, and that'll go on for a few days to finish the fencing. And then we're set for June 2nd at 10 a.m., Erica, is that correct? 10 a.m.? 10 a.m. And we're planning on everyone being there. And Pam will be making some remarks with me. And we have a full program, and it is going to be pretty cool. So we're looking forward to June 2nd. And without telling you a lot of stuff about it, it's going to be a fun opportunity. So we'll plan on, and that's before our next council meeting, is that correct? So June 2nd is Monday, and then we'll meet Tuesday. But anyway, that's where we are on the Armory. And the theater, I think Brenda, pretty optimistic, saying July, so I was kind of excited that she said that. She doesn't know. Look at her.
I was optimistic she put it in this year's budget.
Say it again?
I was optimistic she put it in this year's budget.
That's right. No kidding. That would have been not a good sign. But anyway, thank you.
All right. Thanks, Mayor. Then with that, we are adjourned.